20th year of Kyle Whittingham and the Utah Utes. Historic success at Utah after taking over for Urban Meyer. They have the 4th best odds to win the Big 12, tied for 3rd realistically. This is similar to where they were last year, where they were the favorite to win the Big 12 preseason. This year, quarterback is going to be Devin Dampier. He's a pure runner, pure dual threat. Almost 1,200 rushing yards last year, 19 touchdowns, 2,800 yards through the air, and then 12 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. So not good from a passing perspective, but the rushing stats are insane. They're better than Jalen Milroe. They're even better than Parker Navarro. So Devin Dampier is going to be the star of the show for Utah, and he has to kind of lead the pack for this to be a team that wins the Big 12, which is kind of how Vegas views them right now. I will say their offensive tackles, they have arguably the best offensive tackle pair in college football. The only other argument is the Texas A&M Aggies.
Gig 'em.
Spencer Fanu, who was left tackle 2 years ago, right tackle last year. He's number 10 on the PFF and the number 3 offensive tackle. He's going to be a first-round pick this year. Caleb Lemieux was the left tackle last season, and he is that second half of it. He's also got a high PFF grade as well. Lander Barton will be their star on the defensive side at linebacker, 37 tackles that were solo last year with 72 combined. 2 sacks, 2 picks. He's a playmaker. He has a pick 6 in each of the last 2 years, which for a linebacker is really good. I mean, a la Jet Johnson, who never had pick 6s, but he had picks, of course.
Didn't he have the pick and then he handed it to a cornerback?
He pitched it, yeah.
That counts.
Respect to him for knowing he's not fast enough to find the end zone.
Exactly. The what's going to tell the story for Utah is home field advantage this year. They host Texas Tech. They host Arizona State. They host Kansas State. Those are the 3 other teams of competition. They'll play at Baylor, so they play the other team that's in that top 5 of contention to win the Big 12, but they host 3 of the 4, and their historic home field advantage has to play into that, which I think is a large part why they have the odds so high. I'm curious to hear what their win total is going to be here in a second. They would be my 3rd pick to reach the Big 12 title game, which puts Arizona State down to 4.
Sure.
But I think it's because of this.
And
the
TCU
schedule.
at 5?
TCU would be 5 in that.
The schedule is really nice. I think this was the perfect Power 4 team for Devin Dampier to go to because he gets to play behind this line that's very physical. It was a line that was recruited to play in a Pac-12 that is known to be a little more physical than the Big 12 conference. So I think they can exert kind of their will on opponents and really run the ball a ton. And Devin Dampier can, he may not have quite the same numbers he did last year, but can be very, very successful on the ground. I do think they'll probably run into a couple games where his passing lets them down and they maybe drop 1 or 2. But I love the idea of watching him run behind this really good offensive line. So,
yeah, and going back to what JP was saying about the schedule, wrong graphic. You can, you'll understand more once I give you all the win total. But you can lose to UCLA, and then like you said, 3 out of the 4 of your hardest games are at home, and then you've got the other one that's at Baylor. So you could lose one of those at home, and then lose to Baylor. That's 2 conference losses. You can go 7-2 in the conference, and then be in a tie break and potentially make it to the conference championship, and that's a pretty easy route. You only got to win 2 out of those 3 games at home. You got the home field advantage. You should win those, and then you lose at Baylor because it's on the road. That's an easy route. I'm gonna go ahead and give you all the win totals because I think it's kind of insane. 7.5.
I don't think that's insane whatsoever. Devin Dampier is too much of a question mark in terms of how is he going to perform in the Big 12. The transfer from New Mexico, passing like they remember Nate Johnson at Utah and his version of that offense. It was not productive, even with the Pac-12 offensive line and his speed and his ability. You have to still be able to throw the ball to some degree. They're not running the option after all, so Dampier's going to have to show that, and I think that's why it's at 7.5. I don't
I
think
think
that's
the
a
reason-
terrible line.
I think the reason I was saying is it was crazy is because this is the tied for second favorite to win the Big 12.
It
But
tells
we've
the
just seen a
story.
lot of more conservative lines in this conference because of how kind of even it is on the top.
Yeah.
There's no like true teams that separate themselves from the rest. So I think it may be a game low, but it's nothing crazy.
Yeah.
With that being said, I will take the over. I've already kind of said it. JP's already said it. Devin Dampier's passing will have to get better, and it may lose them a couple games. But even with that in mind, I still think they can find 8 wins. So because their hardest games are at home, and that's a tough place to play. It was really well put, JP.
Yeah, they got to handle business at home. They got to handle business at home, and that's the story of their season. Week 1 will be interesting. Nico
Yeah.
Imaliava,
Yeah.
which will be home field advantage for Utah because
I didn't
they've
realize-
played in the Rose Bowl twice in the past 4 years, and UCLA doesn't get any fans there anyway.
I was looking at transfer quarterback rankings today, trying to get ready for this show, and I didn't realize Nico was a 5-star transfer quarterback.
He's that good. If he was playing for Tennessee, I was picking them to win the SEC.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a large part with schedule based, but he's still good.
He didn't have like the best season last year, but I think a lot of the people piling on him is because of how the transfer move went down.
Yeah.
And then they go start cherry picking stuff and throws from last year and
Yep.
being like, "Oh, this
I-
guy was bad."
I thought a lot.
I watched him play in person.
Yeah.
He's talented, clearly, and he got hurt in that game with a concussion, but he's talented.
Yeah. I didn't mean to put us into a Big Ten. Is that what we're talking now? Big Ten, technically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
We can get back. We've made our picks. We've all got Utah taking the over.
Yeah.
Do you think Utah fans are glad to be done with Cam Rising?
I think so. It's like
Okay.
I think
I know the college football world is.
I am very happy that every year he would get hyped up, and I'd be like, okay, maybe he can have a little going away party
Sure.
and have a good year, and then just be done. And it never happened. And then every year he would come back, and
well,
go ahead.
it was just tough because he always got hurt,
It
and
was.
that was the worst part.
And so you wanted him to come back and have a healthy season.
Correct, and that held Utah in jail, honestly, because they could never move on because he did have good seasons there. But then he'd always get hurt, and then they have to rely on the backup, and that would just never go well. It kind of felt like a toxic relationship. No fault of Cam Rising's.
None.
But I'm happy they moved on. I think they're happy to have moved on as well.